Hello, trading has closed on June 10th, 2025. As always, we'll start with our disclaimer. We'll go over our calls and then make our predictions. It's my trading plan for Wednesday, which is June the 11th, 2025. Remember, I can change my plan and I can be completely wrong, so trade at your own risk. For the next few weeks, many of the days, not all the days, I'm going to have personal business intraday. I'm not going to be able to follow the market intraday every day. Look for the pattern with the early high. That's this. Tends to be a rally day with a high in the final hour. We came close, but rallying all day and not hitting a high over this midday high is a negative pattern if it's maintained. All it would take to establish the normal pattern would be to take this high out early. That could certainly happen, but there's a wall into the close, which often is followed by gapping down, so it isn't a lot that that's going to happen. We had some targets. We had an optional target of 60, 21, 34. Optional targets don't have to print, but this one did. We had a target of 6,175. We gapped up, so it didn't have to print today, but that didn't mean it wouldn't print today, and that printed. And there's support resistance around those areas. This green line is an old FOMC announcement price from months ago. I think it pays to keep track of those prices because they can be important even much later. Well, during the day, MEJT said this drop was a false move, gives us a target of overtaking this high, and that's already played out. This is the daily chart. We had bar 13 of a sequential sell. We now have bar 8 out of 9 of a 9, 13, 9 sequential sell. Unless we have a huge gap down tomorrow, we're going to see bar 9, which could finish early. So tomorrow should finish a 9, 13, 9 sequential sell signal. Again, it doesn't have to work, but when it works, it means you're extremely overextended. Well, this is a reminder of what we said before. Someone wrote me that tomorrow is Carol Ann's F23 date, which is certainly true. I had missed this. I'm grateful to him for pointing it out. There's a 3-day window, so we're within the window of a Carol Ann turn date. 3 days is the time frame for the F19 turn date on Saturday, but because the market's closed on Saturday, today's within the time frame too. So we have a number of Carol Ann turn dates here. These things don't have to work, but if there isn't a turn date by Carol Ann's work, there probably isn't a major turn. If there is a turn date, at least it could be. So we have something which could be a major turn in his work to go along with a 9-13-9 sequential sell signal. I mean, we're getting all these sell signals, but so far no sell. And as I've said, until I see a drop start, I'm going to keep my powder dry and not trade it. Well, we have these resistance lines. We briefly closed just over this one. If we drop right from the open and reverse this immediately, that doesn't mean much to me. A small drop which gets reversed doesn't count in my work. Any break has to be confirmed. By confirmed, we have to trade higher than today's close. So if we don't trade higher than today's close, that break doesn't count. Of course, if we keep going up, then this call for a top isn't going to work. I mean, this is slightly over bar 3 equal to bar 1, but it's just not enough for me to kill the idea yet, although we keep going higher. I'll be happy I didn't risk any money on this yet. I can still make this count as a wave 5. It has a fib relationship, not to wave 3 anymore, but to wave 1 to 3 put together. it's getting tougher and tougher to make this count work, but it just hasn't been invalidated yet. And I still have sentiment indicators saying there should be a top in this area. There are too many calls in relation to puts being purchased. We have a number of things that can give us a top here if we start down. We just haven't started to drop yet. So tomorrow's pattern has a really high regardless of where we open. The Consumer Price Index report comes out before the open tomorrow. I just can't predict the response to major economic reports with any accuracy. So I mean, if we open way down here, everything's going to fit, but that hasn't happened yet. And of course, if we open up here, the whole idea will most likely be killed, and that we don't know. Today's rally has come very close to invalidating this bearish case, but if we maintain a gap down tomorrow, that trend line break we showed isn't going to count, and those other indicators we showed are. So you're still in the range where you could have a top. We just haven't reversed yet. Tomorrow we'll likely complete a DeMark 913.9 sequential sell. It's also a Caroline turn date within the range of another, and failing to close over the midday high in today's pattern, if it's maintained at the open, is negative as well. The wall into the close often is followed by gapping down, and futures are down as I'm writing this. It's quite possible we do maintain a gap down, in which case the scenario for a top is still intact. But the longer we go without dropping, the more likely the idea is to fail. I would still trust a sharp move lower to continue down. We just haven't had that move yet. Until we do, I'm not shorting this. I think any shorts here is going to be, any top is going to be a temporary top. We just haven't killed the idea. We've come close. We just haven't killed it. If we are way up here tomorrow and keep going, I'm going to have to throw in the towel. For right now, futures are down. There's a wall into the close. We have a bunch of stuff which is still working. If we're down tomorrow and we keep going down, I think you've got a good pattern. You can explain this. So again, we have another candidate for a top, but I'm not risking my money until it's more than a candidate, because if it does work, if this is a top, if that 913.9 sell signal works, if the Caroline stuff works, if the wave counts are close enough, if the sentiment indicators work, that drop is going to take a lot more than a day. And frankly, I could have explained the top any one of these other days and I would have been stopped out. So I'm still flat. I would still trust to drop down to let me have plenty of time to climb on the train. I'm waiting to see how we open. CPI might turn the tables here, but let's just say it's the pattern with the early high, a candidate for a top. We're on the edge of breaking the idea for going down here, but we haven't broken the idea yet, and I'm still going to keep that as very possible until the idea is totally killed, which hasn't happened yet, and that's today's call.